This vid's going to show you a solo with my Ergo Sum Perfected Transcendence Energy Spam build with Getaway Heists. This is a solo ultimate Liminality being done with Extinction Revives, so we have to solo flawless it. That you will check bottom right hand side corner, there are no revives. We are doing a build test by using Liminality as a vessel for that test. Right here, alright? So the build information will be at the end of the run. We're doing it at the end. We're showing you gameplay first, and then you can get your fragments and your aspects and your dim links and your closure at the end of the video. Let's commentate on how this build works, and it's brilliant. It's superb. This I would use this build in a lot of different things. The more dense something is, the better that this is. So we'll get a Bleak Watcher turret down, an Arc Soul turret in straight away. I need Unstop for this champion, which I've got a Burning Ambition LMG on for. We will stun him. The Pumpkin Beans are melting us there a little bit, but that's fine. We get our stun here. Finish him off, clean him off with Ergo Sum. And as we go. I'll mention this at the end, but I didn't get my 10 out of 10 Ergo Sum. I got a 9 out of 10 roll with Wave Frame and Arc Conductor, but what I wanted overwhelmingly was the Arc Conductor roll with Caster Frame, and it still hasn't dropped for me to this day. Maybe one day before Renegades I get it. I'll do a little bit more farming, but I'm not committing too much time to it. Let's hope I get it. Okay, so we've got a Grim Barrier here. By the way, if you didn't know, Bungie added new Scorn champions. So there's the Honeybee champs. Yeah, and then there's the Grims, the incredible champions. Just look at this. We want more Grims, and we want them now. Look at how good these barriers are. This went up under the radar, this. I mentioned this last time I saw Liminality, but I'll mention it again. We're using the Scout with Blind and Kinetic Tremors. Reason being is because it's got a lot of utility and a lot of damage. So generally in Destiny 2, you've got to pick between utility or damage. But with this weapon, it's both. It's got that Blind and utility, and Kinetic Tremors gives us a lot of Transcendence Grenade, a lot of Transcendence energy, which is very good for Ergo Sum, right? Very good. I'll get a turret down here. I'll use Ergo Sum first. Get the champ weak. Yeah. Break the champ's shield. He's done. Finished. Got my turret just about back, look. And we're making lots of orbs as well. We're making lots of orbs on this build, so we can double dip into fonts and stuff like this to enhance stats that otherwise would have been lower than, you know, if we hadn't had that on. But that'll be explained at the end of the video with the build portion. Okay, we'll just make our way through here. This is a good testing grounds, this. Watch how aggressive we can play with Ergo Sum. Remember, we're getting that damage resist, and this room has a lot of arc in it. There's a lot of arc. Okay, so I'll start off with a Bleak Watcher turret. Yeah, and we'll come up to the top of the hill. I know that the initial spawn will not proc right away. There we go, it comes in. Wizard to my right. Get another turret down. Going with Ergo Sum. That Barry's backing off though. He's backing right out of my... That's why wave frames aren't as good as casters. Because if an ad backs out of your radius, your wave frame has missed. Whereas a caster frame can hit any boss, any ranged target, or close. It's got the best of both worlds. That's why caster frame is my favourite frame of sword in the game now. I think so. Better than Vortex frames. I mean... Not for pure damage and all that, but just for I'm on about combatant gameplay here. Caster frames wins, yeah, and they're not too shabby for damage. We pop a Transcendency. Look at the grenade energy. Look at the ammo generation. Now, what's interesting about this is, even if you hit a boss with a Transcendence grenade, you'll get special ammo back. So, do you see the spam now? Do you see the playback loop? Nade goes in, we keep getting ammo back, we keep getting ammo. That's how this sword's meant to be used. I've heard complaints of people saying it doesn't have much ammo. It doesn't, but it's a Transcendence sword. You're meant to play on Transcendence with this. I was going to play on Arc Warlock. I was going to do Arc Buddy Warlock with this sword, but I was like, no, there's no point, because the catalyst is about Transcendence gameplay. So you want to be on Prismatic, in my opinion. For the full Ergo Sum experience, it's definitely better on Prismatic than it is on mono classes. Although it is nice with Arc Soul. But we can get Arc Soul anyways on Prismatic. We don't need to be on pure Arc, is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? Yeah? Because if you don't play on Prismatic, you'll run out of ammo with Ergo Sum quite a bit. You will. We blow through this room very quickly. We melt down the Lucent Guardian with Song of Flame, which I saved that for him. Then we get the barrier behind me. Melt him with the sword. Waveframe swords hit hard enough. They're just harder to use than what a caster is. But they do. Ergo Sum's hitting pretty decent in this. It is. Okay, the Hive Guardian Wizard, we want to get him weak. Reason being is because that'll weaken that wizard for the final boss fight. If you didn't know, if you actually kill this wizard now, you will only get a standard wizard at the final boss, not a Lucent Guardian. It's a little bit of a nice trick you can do with this. But the best outcome is actually just to weaken half HP on that wizard. Knight here will get rid of the knight. It seems as though the lava's hitting very hard in this. Now, if you know, I soloed this a week, not a week, but probably about 2 weeks ago now I soloed this. But it seems as though the lava's hitting harder than what it was. And I've got the same resistance mods on as what I had last time. So I'm not sure. The lava seems to be very, very dangerous in this. Like, you can get 2-tapped off the lava. Whereas 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, it wasn't that. It was like you could tank it a bit more than that, right? So I'm not 100% what's going on. So I have to be careful with the lava is all I'm saying to you. So we'll go left-hand side first. Pick up the essence. This is the puzzle part. Separating the men from the boys with this. If you don't know what you're doing, you will wipe immediately. Remember, Extinction Revives is on. If I wipe here at the lava, I go to orbit. Do you understand it? So if you were doing that on your solo, you might be worried. Yeah. Now you can dupe relics, which I didn't. I didn't actually dupe one relic on this run, so I'm not going to mention it. I've duped it in the past, but today I didn't dupe any. I just didn't dupe any. I tried to dupe it there, but I missed my timing on it. But that's fine. We're here for the build. So I get pretty weak here. Get my turret down, though. The Hive B Unstop is pushing. Burning Ambition LMG. This is why we've got it on, look. See, we would run into problems. Don't you understand that we would run into problems in this run if we ran a weapon that doesn't have Unstop? Burning Ambition is Unstop. It's a pseudo unstoppable champion weapon. That's exactly what it is. So that's why you should keep sort of weapons like that. Even though it's not the best roll on the LMG, it's not. But we need to open a lock with a key, and that's what this is. That's what Burning Ambition is. There's other better rolls on the LMG like Onslaught, even Incandescent at times. You know, 4th time's a charm. There's all sorts of different rolls, but for this particular thing that I'm doing right now, I need Burning Ambition. Do you understand it? That's why we keep such weapons. So yeah, a lot of you seem to gravitate to one weapon and say that you're done, and you're not. Because there'll be a day come by there you're like, I need such and such roll, and you haven't got it. Because you assumed that the roll that you had was superior to what you actually needed in a particular run. So be careful on what you delete in the game is what I'm saying. Any jolting feedback, Burning Ambition, weapons, stuff like that, you try to keep hold of them as much as you can. Because remember, there is champions in the game, right? And they need to be seen too, you know, in certain activities. So I get a nice blind on those acolytes. Did you see it with the reload? We blind the 2 acolytes first, get a turret down. Need to stun this Unstop. Stun them nicely. Obviously, it's not going to be an instant stun, but the stasis turret will act as a soft cushion for me so that I've got time to stun that Unstop. There's times when we need immediate stop. If I need an immediate stop on an Unstop, I will use Song of Flame because that's an immediate stop. But there's a lot of to be fair, there's quite a lot of Unstops in this. I just sort of worked around it, right? That's sort of how I went around it. So I knew at each moment, right, what am I doing with this Unstop? What am I doing with that Unstop? How can I control them? If I can't get a quick instant stun, how can I work around that issue? That's basically what I was doing with that. I use a super on that Scorn Champ just because it's a throwaway super at that point. I don't need it anytime soon right yet, at this moment. I'll blind this, I can blind these Grims and take down the Centurion. I am going to kill this barrier. For the most part, I'm killing, 90% of the stuff. There's only a few things that I've skipped in this run, right? But like I said, we are using this activity more as a build testing grounds, which it's a very good one for that. The starting room with the cursed, very good test. Then you've got the village section, which is one of the best sections in any GM style thing, in my opinion, because there's not a lot of places to hide. I mean, there is and there isn't. There is tactical places. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this arena adds push you very aggressive, and it's a very good test for builds. So yeah, I go in with a Transcendence pop. Look, I'm getting Transcendence back quite a lot. Unstop. We need to get a stun on him now while we're full HP. But look, he's getting melted because he's debuffed by Facet of Dominance. I'm jolting everything as well. Don't forget. Because of the rework to Arc Soul Buddy working with Facet of Dominance. Because it's a grenade. Arc Souls are grenades. Yeah, we're doing a nice job here on these Void Shields. There's not overloads, but two snipers that I am worried about. A little bit. Oh, we get a unstop in middle. That's nice. It's time for me to use Super. So this is when we want a quick stop. See? So we've got a strat for him. That's a strat because after he's killed, I won't need a Super for a while. So it's perfect time to use it on him. I mean, we've got so much Transcendence uptime. We've basically got another version of a Super anyways. That's how you should really look at when you pop a Transcendence. It's like a Super. In some cases more effective than a Super at times. Yeah. Plus it's granting you special ammo back and stuff. Like I'm full on special at the minute. My heavy's getting low. My heavy's starting to get low a little bit. I'll keep popping turrets at middle. Top mid. There's Grims pushing me to my left. There's Pumpkins as well. Pumpkins can wipe you quick. Pumpkin Banes have actually made some activities harder at ultimate content. They can melt you quick. You've seen the footage. You've seen the footage from people. They've melted me fast, so I've got to be wary of those Pumpkin Banes. It's not entirely free, this, but the build is working tremendously well, right? The Scouts also hitting really hard and doing us some good work. We now get the Subjugator to spawn in, or soon at least. Unstopping mid, it's a taken version. I'm going to pop Transcendence 6. I don't want to pop Song of Flame yet. Yeah? Why pop it now when I can get a quick stun with Burn Ambition to use Song of Flame on Subjugator? A lot of you would like to pop a Super there, and that wouldn't be the play. Because what's coming up? You've got to think about what's coming up. What's your plan for the next bit? It's alright saying, well, I'll pop a Super. Yeah, alright. But what's your plan for the next bit? You can still kill the Subjugator without a Super. But it's less effective. Because you'll be able to out-tank him even more with a Song of Flame. You'll melt him down quicker. And if you understand that if you kill the Subjugator now, you have all hands despawn. So it's your critical. It's critical. It's a goal to get rid of the Subjugator. We would do that on the old GM version. Get rid of the Subjugator first. That despawns all adds. I mean, you're not killing him, but you're getting him weak. Because that Subjugator is revisited at the final boss. Only thing is, what do you think the weakness is about this build so far? I'm going to see how good you are, right? What do you think the weakness about this build is? And yeah, there's two weaknesses. I want to see if anyone's clever enough to establish the two weaknesses with this build. Even though it's damn powerful. It's like a 10 out of 10 build, this. In the right circumstances, in the right environment, this build is tremendous. But it's got two single weaknesses. I'll give you a hint. One of them is that one of the mods on the boots isn't favourable. And another thing is ability. I can't really tell you without telling you, right? There's something. It's regarding Bleak Watcher. There you go. I'm giving you a little clue. See if you know the weakness to the build. There's two weaknesses to it. But other than that, the build is very strong. Very powerful. Especially small rooms. Yeah, one of the best builds in the game, probably. Definitely one of the best builds in the game. Grim at the back of the map. We want to clear him. We don't want to skip him. He's there to kill. Yeah. We don't. It's not often we fight Grims, and I do enjoy fighting them. So anytime I see a Grim, I have this overwhelming urge to take the Grim. I don't know why. It's like I say, because we've been squandered of new champions for years, and then to get new champions in Edge of Fate and for everybody to miss it is kind of a shame. If we had got this back in the day, a Grim barrier back in 2000, I know Dread Enemies weren't there, but if we was to get a new champion in like 2022, 2023, everyone would go crazy about it. Whereas now, that changed, everyone has just forgot about it, or maybe they haven't even played Liminality and they don't know. Probably that's why. So I get a Arc Soul pop first. So I get my 2 turrets, then I pop Transcendence. I've got a Pumpkin Knight in mid. He's very dangerous, got to be careful. I've got Arc Conductor procced. I've got my Chain Lightning procced. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of damage to the boss while multitasking the ads, because this build is that good that we can sort of do that. Remember, this is Liminality. A lot of ads spawning. Yeah. The boss is debuffed. I'll pop a Song of Flame. I'm going to do a bit of damage against the boss, just to send him along his way, to speed up the run a little bit. But there's more ads to come. And generally, for players who can't do this or struggle to, you should entirely focus on the ads and skip the boss. But the way I'm doing it is I'm speeding up the run for more entertainment on the actual run itself for the video. For the quality of entertainment. Let's put it that way. Look at Transcendence Energy. We're finishing the boss off. All the ads have cleared. So we've multitasked both the Tormentor and the ads. Right, I go in with the Waves frame. It's doing good. It's doing good for me. The Wave frame Arc Conductor Ergo Sum is very good. It's like a 9 out of 10 weapon. It's a shame I haven't got the caster on it. But man, is it a good weapon. It's still a very, very good sword. And if you don't get it with caster, but you've got this version, still keep it. It's so worth you keeping it. It really is. I pop a Transcendence here. We're just melting everything there on those 2 waves. And we're done. And I have a full bar Transcendence Energy. Look at that. Okay, now relics. The worst time of the run. I hate these 2 relics. Not this one so much. This one's alright. But it's the left relic that sometimes I mess up with. But I'll pick up this relic here. And what you're going to do is shoot 3 waves of eyes. You've got to be quick. Because lava's raising, and as I've just told you before, the lava seems to be doing excessive amounts of damage to us now, as opposed to 3 weeks ago for some reason, so you got to be careful. Look, I was like paranoid there for a minute. I was like, why? Have I missed an eye? And I hadn't. But yeah, I've got to be very careful. I can't dip my toes in that lava for very long at all. Not for long at all. Yeah, dunk this relic. Yes, you can dupe relics, but I'm just going to go and do it the regular way. For some reason, it's showing a relic right again. So I was like, ooh, I see an opportunity there. Maybe I can dunk it, and then it disappears. I was thinking it might have bugged and I could go for right relic again, which would have been nice, because right relic's easier than left. But that's fine. It baited me a bit there. To note as well with this arena, there's lava on the outside of the arena, and the lava will actually depreciate as the run goes along, which is actually a cool little thing. So we need to not throw here. Remember, Extinction Revive is on. If I make one wrong move, I go to orbit. Yeah, we done it. We got a good easy pattern that time. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Dunk the second relic there. Now we're on phase 2. Now this is why I like Liminality. If you've studied your ad waves, you will know that phase 2 is a lot easier than phase 1 because there's only one phase of captains. Knowing stuff like that, you can strategize your abilities better. So it is something that we study ads less. I've noticed lately that people study ad waves a lot less than they used to, because it's not as important in the game now because we've power crept it a little bit. But I still exercise that skill because I may need that skill for Renegades. Day 1 dungeon, I may need it to memorize ads. I'm talking memorize to the fine details. When do you get knights? How many acolytes are with them? Where do they spawn? When do they spawn? What's it like on this phase? What's it like on that phase? I still exercise all that stuff because there'll be a day when I need it again. Back in the day, we really needed that stuff. Nowadays we don't need it as much, but I'm explaining to you that you should exercise memorizing add combatant waves, especially in things like Liminality, Solar Liminality, stuff like this. So we know that phase 2 is a lot easier because there's only one wave. It means I can keep and hold a Transcendence or a Super, or spend less ammo, spend less heavy, spend less special or whatever. Although special doesn't matter because I'm keep getting my special ammo back. So special ammo is fine. I didn't need to manage Ergo Sum ammo at all in this. Barely. I only struggled, not even struggled. I got lowish on that first cursed room, and that was it. Because I'm spamming over that amount of Transcendences, I'm getting the ammo back from that, but I'm getting green ammo bricks on the floor. So I haven't just got 51 sword ammo. I've got more than that, haven't I? I've got more like 80. That's how I think about things. I'm trying to explain to you how I'm thinking as I'm playing. So I'm thinking, I've got 51 sword ammo, I keep getting my ammo back, and I've got 3 or 4 special bricks I've just eyed on the floor. Now, that was a good Transcendence there. This is Hive Enemy Wave. Get a nice blind in, although we melt that night anyways. This barrier was, on this particular run, actually annoying. Generally, the barrier shows himself, and he comes to mid. He didn't. He was very standoffish, which created me a little bit of problems. Probably the hardest. Not the hardest. It was probably the most awkward, yeah, because we was trying to deal with him before. Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, look. We get weak behind us because there's a pumpkin bane or so. See, the pumpkin bane's cannon, I get weak on that cliff. I'm trying to mantle a cliff while running away. Told you those banes melt. It might look like on the run that they're not threatening, but they are. I'm fully aware. And you can't turn them off neither. You're not allowed to turn them off. Pumpkin banes are on the entire time. There's no option. Someone lied to me. That guy who lied to me, he said, you can turn pumpkin banes off. You lied to me, son. You can't. You had me down a path. Why did you do that to me and lie to me about that? Subjugator spawns in. I get good 2 turrets down. This Subjugator is weak already, right? Generally, I have more problems with him. But he was finishable because I was about to pop a Transcendence a few moments before that. But then once I saw that he was finishable, I held off. I was like, no, I don't need to. I'm approaching final phase. I want full Transcendence at start and the Song of Flame. Definitely need a song because there's a critical moment where we must pop Super lest we die, lest we wipe. We will wipe if we don't have song for the honeybee monster at the end. For Winnie the Pooh at the end, we need a damn song. Do you understand it? I'll point it out. I'll point out the critical. So we get a good Transcendence. The boss is enraged. He chases you. This is why I like it. I like it because it's a good build test. It's a good test of a build. Yeah? Ads are spawning left and right. I'm waiting. There we go. There we go. There he is. The cookie monster is at the back of the map. Look. This is the critical song. There it is. Because it's instant stun. Remember, my loadout does not have instant stun. I get weak there in a Song of Flame. Off the pumpkin. But that song destroys the honey badger. Right? He gets destroyed. Because he'll end your day, that guy, on that. He will. If you're running around this map and he is not down and you haven't got song, there's probably a 90% chance of death. Probably. Because the bees chase you. Do you understand it? While the boss is chasing you. While you've got acolytes. So getting him down is critical. Now look at the room now. Look at how quiet it is now. It's like a library now. Look. The build. It's done. It's cooked. I've went round the map. Popping Transcendences. Going in with the Ergo Sum. This is why it's so good. This should be one of your tick box exercises. Before Renegades, try and get an Ergo Sum with Arc Conductor. And preferably Caster Frame. But just get a Arc Conductor Ergo Sum. And farm it on the Pale Heart. There's ways and means to do it. There is. And just hope you get it. But you are up against the RNG mercy of it. Yeah? But it is worth it once you get the role, is what I'm trying to explain. It opens a lot of different builds up for you. And it's not just Warlock you can build it into. You can do it on all 3 characters. So look at this. We're doing nice control. Get weak off that Tormentor. Void Resist helps against that. Look, he's doing 3 Void attacks, which that's different from his 2 body attacks he done at the earlier phase. He enrages sort of thing. He has a little bit of an enrage. We get a final phase. I get a turret up straight away. Transcendence popped straight off the rip. Nice nade on there, and then we map rotate. There's no unstop on this phase, so I realise I don't need Song of Flame for the ads, although I will pop it if I feel as though I should, because there's a few ads left yet, I think. We now get the Thrall, the Taken Thrall as well to spawn. Boss is really weak. Yes, we have got 8 damage hat buff on, but just let your hair down about that, man. I'm waiting to see you'll notice. He's got 8 times hat damage buff on. Don't tell nobody. It's a secret between me and you. Don't say nothing. Say nothing. What do you want? It's Halloween event. Damn it, man. Let's hope nobody notices. So, yeah, adds a clear look. Keep popping those turrets. I'm going to pop a Song of Flame now in the hopes of doing a bit of damage to the boss and the remaining ads. Yeah, look, he's in a good move. When he does that move where he raises his hand up, that's a good opportunity to get some damage in. Look, I get nice Song of Flame damage in before he grabs me. By the way, if he grabs me and I don't have my DR, he can one-shot. So got to be careful. Got to be extremely careful. You can still get killed off him. But yeah, we can kite him around the map like that, look. But yeah, that was a solo with the Ergo Sum perfected build on Getaway Artists for Transcendent Spam, Damage Resist. Extremely fun build, this. I mean, this is one of the top builds in the game, in my opinion. It's very strong. And this sword can be built with many, many different builds. It absolutely can, and it's well worth your time to get it. Okay, so the next section will be the build portion and understanding the build. Okay, so on with the build information for the Ergo Sum. So as I was saying, it was on Arc Conductor for a 50% DR, and you get Chain Lightning. And the best frame you can get is Caster Frame, in my opinion. I've got Wave Frame. It's a bitter pill to swallow, and I'll just have to, because I need to get an Ergo Sum video out. And the Caster Frame Arc Conductor Ergo Sum will never drop for me. In my entire career of D2, I have never seen one single Arc Conductor Caster Frame Ergo Sum drop for me once. And that is since summer 2024. We are nearly 2026, and I still haven't seen the sword that I want. Like, wholeheartedly, the one I want. This, to me, is a problem, right? The reason why it's a problem is because to farm Ergo Sum, you need to go on the Pale Heart. That's fine and all, but when you're playing the Pale Heart, all of the weapons and the armor pieces are non-portal items. So you're now putting yourself down by only farming Ergo Sum itself and nothing else. Whereas if we had Pale Heart activities within the portal, then it would make sense, it would be fine, but that isn't the situation. So what I'm saying is, the solution to this, there's too many rolls on Ergo Sum, it's taken up too much vault space, I've got loads of Ergo Sum rolls, and if we could craft this sword, please, it would alleviate vault space. It's also a very important sword to the game, in my opinion. And all of the perks are so varied that you want to try each one of them. Crafting for this sword would alleviate that. The Bungie needs to come out with a mini update, have it so that Ergo Sum is craftable, and also, a step further, make it so that exotic class items are craftable. Yes, exotic class items. Reason being is because there's far too many rolls to get on all those exotic class items, and we haven't got the vault space for it. So the only solution I see to these file shape issues of items is to make them craftable. I'm not saying about regular weapons, I'm just on about these two particular items. If they do that, it will alleviate vault issues so much. Would you not agree that it would be better that we could craft Ergo Sum and that we could craft exotic class items? We're 18 months on from file shape. We've had our closure. I think they should just allow us to craft it now. This is an issue because, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to get every single Ergo Sum because it's too much of a pain, even to me, with the amount of time I play this game. So if I'm struggling and having issues with this, what about the general player? They don't care, man. No way. They'll just forget about it. That was so 2024. Who cares? Although Ergo Sum's an incredibly powerful weapon, and they're missing out. They need to be crafting for this. There definitely needs to be. Right, Catalyst. The catalyst says dealing damage with a transcendent grenade grants Ergo Sum ammo. This is incredible. You will get so much ammo if you rock a very good transcendent build. That's what we're on to here, right, with this. So we've got, let's go through let's take it from the top. Song of Flame, Phoenix Dive, Arcane Needle, Storm Grenade, Aspects are Feed the Void, Blink Watcher. Fragments are Facet of Protection for damage resist. Facet of Dominance to jolt via Arc Buddy and weaken via Freeze and Singularity. Facet of Dawn for a Radiant buff. This is a weapon damage bonus. And Facet of Courage. Whenever we inflict debuffs, we get a buff to our Arc, Sword and Void abilities, etc. Right? So that's what we've got on there. We're pairing it with Getaway Artists, the Exotic Gauntlets. Since I haven't made a recent Getaway Artists video, so I figured this was a good time. I've used Getaway Artists for years at this point. I used to use it when it was off meta, back in the day. But anyways, this is a very nice pairing with Ergo Sum. So this is my Ergo Sum Getaway Artist Transcendence build. And you're going to be able to spam your Transcendences to get more ammo with the catalyst. Right, we want a Kinetic Tremor weapon on to back this up. If we have a Kinetic Tremor weapon on, we will get both light and darkness energy. You also get it with Ergo Sum, a lot of Transcendence energy. But I'm using this Scout Rifle here, Force Paralyzer, one of the best Scout Rifles in the game. Bewildering Burst for blind, Kinetic Tremors, incredible weapon. It goes nicely with this. I need a barrier weapon on in my kit. And I've got a Unstoppable weapon on, Unwavering Duty, because it's got Burning Ambition. I need Unstoppable on, because I've got Barrier Scout. I've got Overload Sword on this, which does actually help. Yeah, and we need Unstop on because I've got Unstoppables to kill, right? We can't overbuild craft. A lot of yous overbuild craft and think that you're doing good, but then when you come to solo something, if you haven't got the correct champion mods, well then your build's no good, dude. So you need to think about it properly. Obviously, I'm soloing Liminality, or I already showed you that I have, but I needed Unstop in my kit, and Burn Ambition made sense for that. Because we're using these particular weapons for a run, for a video. Stat distributions. For Getaway Ice builds, you don't need 200 grenade stat. You only need 160. The reason why you only need 160 is because 2 grenade fonts will give you 20 grenade stat apiece. That will equal exactly 200 grenade stat. You are throwing if you use 200 grenade stat on this. There's no need. I'm going to tell you why you're throwing. Because you've just lost 40 stat points that you could have pumped into your super or your weapons. If you're rocking a 200 grenade stat, right, your chances are that you're rocking a low super stat or low class or low weapons. One of them's low. And that's just how it cuts. That's how the cake's cut. Yeah? So save yourself 40 stat points by only running 160 nade, not 200. Then you can balance your build. You need more balance. You need to think about more balance rather than spikes so much. Like not rocking a good superstar, you will feel it. And if you rock above 100, you get a damage bonus for Song of Flame, and that's huge. Class stat isn't needed much for this. I would recommend tier 7, maybe even you can get away with tier 6 class ability stat. Because you're not really doing much of that. And weapon stat, I've always said you should always run 100 weapon stat for any build at all you ever make in the game. For most of the time, anyways, at least. I'm not even wearing 2-piece smoke because I just didn't have time to sort that out. But I think that goes with the run. That I didn't even run DR. I just ran DR off Ergo Sum, right? So, yeah, we've got a super font on Ashist Assets, 2 grenade fonts, a firepower, so that will give me my stats. Yeah? The firepower is going to make us enough orbs. Void resist, resist and concussive dampener. Arc Scavenger on. Elemental charge is nice because it works with elemental coalescence and we get more armor charges off the artifact mod. I prefer better already over recuperation in my opinion because I run 0 health stat builds. I'll maybe talk about that briefly. So I prefer better already than recuperation. Double bomber procs ward is also very nice. So the reason why I run 0 health stat builds is because health is a PvP stat, not a PvE one. There has only been one situation in the entire game since Edge of Fate launched that I have needed to use health stat, and that was in Conquest Avalon, because Conquest Avalon has haste and brawn, and the higher your health stat, the more health you get off recuperation and orbs of power. That mattered in that mission. Only that mission did it ever matter for me. Anything else in PvE, you don't need health stat. Never do you need it. It is a PvP stat. I see so many people commenting to me saying, why have you got 0 health? You're just flexing on us and stuff. No, I'm not flexing on you at all. You are wasting stat points here, lads. Stop wasting your stat points. It's only Conquest Avalon that you need health. And by the way, you only need tier 7 health at that. It's not like you need 100 health or 200 health. You need tier 7 for Conquest Avalon. I've explained this many times, but people just seem to keep forgetting the fact health is a PvP stat. So don't invest any stat points into this on your everyday general basis. So artifact mods finally. Range Shrapnel, Fever and Chill for the LMG, Shield Crush, Elemental Daze, Elemental Coalescence is nice with this build, discount on Scavs, and that's all that mattered, right? I've got Barrier Scout on, Overload Sword, so that we overload everything with Ergo Sum, but that was the build information. Hope you enjoyed the video, thank you.